Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface and welcome to another edition of this Ferrari challenge of Motorsport Manager. We're back again, we're still winning the Constructors' Championship, we're still winning the Drivers' Championship with Vettel. Last time out in Monza, we actually unfortunately broke our run of 7 wins in a row. The first time we'd actually lost since the opener, where we came second and third. The Mercedes looked really strong around the Monza track. They were absolutely running away with it, and if it possibly wasn't for our sort of strategy of actually changing it into the intermediates whilst it was raining for 3 or 4 laps, all the other cars tried to stay out on the dry tyre so they didn't have to do another pit stop before the end. It manages to get us from third up in front of Rosberg to finish second, so we didn't let Mercedes gain too many points on us. They're now just 44 points behind. They're starting to catch up a little bit here. Obviously this time we have got the Spa track coming up. Let's just go ahead and have a look at the course here. Obviously it's got a nice, it does represent the Spa track quite well in this game. It's not exactly right, but we've got this nice little long straight here. We've got this, which is possibly as close as we're going to get to Eau Rouge. You know, the famous track where probably the fastest corner in F1. Absolutely just fly through it like left, right, left, up to the top. And then we've got this straight into Kemmel Straight, so if possibly we're going to need long gear ratios set here because we're going to need top speed rather than a lot of acceleration, although possibly somewhere in the middle because there's a lot around here where acceleration will be good, but obviously top speed is needed for this because I doubt it's going to be full on up this part of the Spa track. So that's what we're going to go for here. Last time out I left it just before we built the new engine. We've now got an engine that we can get up to 1165, which is an absolute massive leap. It's almost a 200 point leap over what we've got at the moment, which is going to be the engine for the next year. If we put this in the car, if you look at that, we actually have the strongest engine next season. So that's where we'll be at next season. Absolutely beast of an engine. Hopefully it's going to retain that for next season. We're currently working on another brake part so we can get the brake parts up as well. We currently have the third best brakes at the moment, but we're not that far off, and we can make another massive leap as well, like we have done with the engines. So next season we're going to have a really competitive car, which might make things a little bit too easy. So maybe that is the reason why I'm going to go with Mick Schumacher, hopefully in the car, or maybe someone like that, maybe Sergio Perez. He's only a 4-star rated driver. He's not rated as good as Raikkonen, but he does have 100% markability rating, so I'm leaning towards Perez as a second driver, Schumacher as a reserve driver, and then move Schumacher either the season after that into the second seat or the season after that. So that is the plan. Other than that, we're going to jump straight into the race here. We don't have any sponsorships coming due. We've got a couple after this race, a couple at 4-star level, so we possibly will be replacing the Kaspersky sponsorship, which is obviously a real life sponsor for Ferrari, so we'll see what sort of deal we can get there. Richard Mill watches, they've got 8 races left on that. Yeah, so that's going to be coming up. As always, we're going to go for Shell. As I explain every time, Santander, we need to come first in qualifying and the race to get all of that money. Obviously Mercedes are a lot stronger now, or they seem a lot stronger, or they're making the right strategy choices now that we don't have to worry, that we do have to worry, and that first is not guaranteed anymore, even in the race. So third or above is what we're going to go for. Since it's going to be heavy rain for practice, so we're not going to get a lot of time done on the dry compound tyres, but then neither is any other team, so we're not going to gain any advantage. We're not going to really lose anything because of that, but it looks like we might need to do some time on the intermediates to get the intermediate boost for qualifying, and it looks like it's going to be pretty dry for the race. So we're going to jump straight into practice now. We're going to come back when it's just about time for qualifying, and we'll go from there. Right, so practice is over there. Pretty close, right at the top of the order here during practice. Look at that, Hamilton, Rosberg, and then us with Vettel. Look at that, 0.001 each between them. It's going to be pretty close between Vettel and the Mercedes. I forgot to mention before the race, Kimi does have a boost for this race. He's an expert at Spa, so he gets a +2 boost to all his stats, so he's a lot quicker around this track. He's actually keeping pace with the Red Bull of Ricciardo, which is unusual for him. Although with the +2 boost to all his stats, he should be about a 4.5-star driver around Spa, so he's quite a bit better than Verstappen. So hopefully we can improve on that. We can get Raikkonen up into the top of the order here. Hopefully we can get like a 3rd and a 4th, or maybe a 2nd with Vettel. So 2nd and 4th is what we're aiming for here. Hopefully we can stick to that. Hopefully we can get that sort of result here. It's going to be wet for the start of qualifying. It looks like it's gonna get dry somewhere towards the end. So we'll see what we can get out of this. Obviously, we're going to take the super soft boost for here because it is going to get dry, it looks like. Hopefully it gets dry. I'm going to take the super soft boost. As for setup, we're a little bit off there with Kimi, aren't we? What can we try and straighten up here? We need to go a little bit further this way on the downforce. So let's try it that way a little bit, and then we just need to try and straighten these up a little bit, don't we? I think that's going to get us somewhere near. Should hopefully be higher than 95%. We're going to have to start off on the intermediates. Whereas Vettel, 96% is the best we got. Won't mess with that too much. We'll leave it as that. We don't need any more advantages than what we've got at the moment. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll come back, possibly skip the first qualifying lap because it's going to be done on wet. It's going to be nowhere near the speed of the lap towards the end of the session. So we'll skip the first lap and we'll come back when we're about to set a flying lap whilst the track is dry. Right, so Raikkonen's pretty far down the order here, but some of these managed to do a lap on the dry now. He was pretty low down, but that's because he came out on his first lap on the intermediates, was on a track that was possibly at its wettest at the point, just a couple of bars in. There's a little bit more rain expected now, right at the end of the session. So we've got Raikkonen going out now. We've got Vettel just about to start coming round, so hopefully we can get Vettel around just before the rain starts here. So let's just try and get these tyres up to temperature. What I don't like to do in this little mini game, I'm not too bothered about the brakes. What we try and do is get the tyres up to temperature, and then we switch between green and yellow like this. That way it doesn't wear away too much of the tyre during this little mini game. We don't want this to drop below like 90%. We don't want the tyre to drop below 90%. Brake temperature doesn't seem to mean too much like that. We've managed to keep the tyre above 90% there, and that sort of gets you a better lap. See there, Raikkonen went. It's not that quick though, Raikkonen. Hopefully Vettel's going to be quick as well. It doesn't look like the Mercedes and the Red Bulls are going to get out of the pits before the rain starts again. Well, they're definitely not going to be able to start a flying lap before the rain begins again. I'm not even sure Vettel's going to get around before the rain begins again. Although he might just make it. He's going a little bit quicker than Raikkonen here in the first sector. That 2 tenths, does he keep that up? He's 5 tenths quicker than Raikkonen there over the first 2 sectors. So it looks like Vettel's going to get pole here. The Mercedes are just about coming round now. So Vettel will go first. Vettel does it in a 1:43.463, so it's just over, yeah, it's just over half a second quicker there. So let's just have a look at Rosberg, and the Red Bull's even further back than that. So it's started raining now, so that's really going to affect the Mercedes lap here and the Red Bull. So we should keep 1 and 2 here due to mistakes by Mercedes and Red Bull. So they should be a lot slower as we get Rosberg going up our rouge here. We get that nice little bit of a hill there, and then up Kemmel straight. So let's just see, yeah, Rosberg's really down on time there, so that's really affected them there. They've really made a mistake by coming right out at the end of the session. The rain has hit them, has affected them. Rosberg's 3 seconds down there, so what is Hamilton? Hamilton's 6, so we've got a Toro Rosso and a Force India that look like they're going to be starting ahead of Hamilton here. Where's Hamilton? Hamilton 3.6 seconds down. Ricciardo is 3.5 seconds down. Verstappen is 1.5 at the moment, but he's not through the second sector yet. 4 seconds down. So pretty disappointing there for Mercedes. Where's Hamilton going to come across the line? What does he do? 5 seconds slower. So if we look at the last lap there for Rosberg, a 1:48, a 1:48. Yeah, all the 1:48s here. Did Verstappen do 6 seconds slower, so Verstappen does a 1:49, so just Rosberg there, there's a nice little gap here to Hamilton where he could be slowed down off the line by Kvyat in the Toro Rosso and Sainz in the Toro Rosso. I said Sainz was in a Force India a minute ago. So we've got both Toro Rossos, one on the second row of the grid and one on the third row of the grid here, so that's just going to possibly help us out in staying ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Yes, we've got both Toro Rossos, followed by Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault. So has it messed a couple of the other cars up as well? It really messed Massa up in the Williams and Bottas up in the Williams, so they must have come out late as well. Yeah, they're on the Inters. Perez is pretty low down as well, as is Hulkenberg. So the top of the order around here is a little bit messed up. We've got a Haas and Renault a lot higher than they have been in this game. It's an opportunity for them to score some points here, and it actually looks like it's going to be full wet at some point here. No, it's just about intermediate level on that second lap in, isn't it? So should we go for the intermediate boost here, or is it going to stop? It's going to get sunny, isn't it? So we might as well go with a super soft boost here. It looks like the super soft's going to run for a lot longer, although after lap 4 we could possibly put a medium tyre on and get to the end of the race once the rain has stopped. So we'll go with the intermediate boost here, because we might go, we're going to try go for the mediums after the inters have run out. They can go for 10 laps and mediums can go for a massive 12 laps here. So we could possibly finish this race just doing one stint on the inters and then one stop and then finishing the race off on the medium. So that is going to be the plan here. That is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to come off the line because it's a really short run down to the first corner here. So if we need a decent start to be able to hold on to first and second after that first bend, and hopefully we've got enough of a distance over the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is going to be really strong here up Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. It's everyone else pushing at the moment. Yes, they are. Rosberg, Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously the Mercedes should be really strong up here, although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than the Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost of the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here, as Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there. So absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get, we don't realise they even think about turning them down. We can possibly run in push and high mode and get them through to where we need to about lap 7 is where we need these tyres to get through. If we ran them in medium, we could possibly get 10 to 11 laps out of them. We just have to be careful. A lot of cars locking up there around the top of the hill. So we just have to be careful that these Mercedes, they're still running in rich engine mode at the moment, still with a rich fuel mix. Mercedes really do like to burn through a lot of their fuel at the beginning of the race. Does seem to affect them later on when they have to go into low mode, and looks like Vettel's about to lose a place to Rosberg here. Although he should be able to hold it, but can we hold that up the straight? Can we hold it up the straight? Rosberg trying to shoot down the outside into this S-bend here. Vettel hanging on, but he locks up trying to keep that place from Rosberg, but then shoots away from Rosberg there. Brilliant. So there's a massive gap now to the Red Bulls behind. The Red Bulls struggling around this track. Already 9 seconds behind the leader Raikkonen. A lot of lockups around this track. And the ring starts again a little bit here before dropping off. Doesn't look like it's going to start again towards the end of the race. So hopefully we can stick a medium on this car when we come into the pits next. Get back to Raikkonen here. I don't think Raikkonen's holding Vettel up. Could be holding him up about half a second a lap. Obviously we can't order Raikkonen to let Vettel through. We're just going to let Raikkonen race here at Spa. Up the hill for Raikkonen, up to this S-bend at the top of the hill. Vettel a lot further ahead here, but Hamilton's actually got past Rosberg at some point. Hamilton did his last lap in a 154.1, so Rosberg did it in a 156.3, so something really slowed Rosberg up on the last lap. Hamilton is actually lapping quicker than Vettel, but they keep turning the fuel up. Yeah, have we still got enough? Yeah, there's tons of tyre left here to get through to until we need to come into the pits. Obviously we're going to have one of these cars pit a lot earlier. Obviously with Vettel leading, with Raikkonen leading, we're going to have to pick Vettel first. I think we'll give Raikkonen as much time as he needs on this intermediates, whereas Vettel's possibly going to come in a lap earlier than he should do. Unless Vettel can get past, of course. And Raikkonen's locked up now. So hopefully we can keep these two places through the pits. Although Hamilton's really getting at the back of Vettel here as Vettel's starting to get slowed up by Raikkonen. Right, so we're going to keep Raikkonen out when the rain stops. Hopefully he can slow Hamilton down a little bit, which should allow Vettel to get through. Vettel's right on the back now, so Vettel is possibly coming in this lap. Should we try getting pushed like this and getting past Hamilton? And he keeps locking up, doesn't he? Yeah, so he's going to have to come in first. Is it going to be this lap that we're bringing him in? Should we? It's going to have to be, otherwise it's going to be on the back of Raikkonen here. So we're going to pick Vettel this lap. Raikkonen is going to have to stay out for one more lap. We've got 11 laps remaining. We can finish this race on the medium tyre. That's definitely what we're going to go for. Should we go risky? Should we go balanced? Go balanced. We've tried the risky one with Raikkonen after this lap. So he's going to really have to push now. We're going to have to really push him because the Mercedes are going to come out on a dry tyre. And the track doesn't quite suit a dry tyre at the moment. Where's Vettel going to get out? He's still behind Hamilton, although it's going to have slowed. They're coming out on a super. They're coming out on a soft of the Mercedes, so they're going to have to pit again before the end of the race. They know it's going to rain for those last couple of laps. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, although it starts getting cloudy towards the end of the race, so there is a chance of rain. We need to try and conserve these a little bit. We don't want to wear them away because we need these to get through to the end of the race here. Whereas Raikkonen now can queue up his pit stop. Soft 10 laps for that. Raikkonen could possibly just do it on the softs, although he has been known to really get through his tyres. It was a lap too early for Vettel. So the Mercedes are going to be on some really worn tyres towards the end of the race. So if we can stay in front, what sort of gap have we got over Hamilton here? Is he gaining? Are we gaining? Like, sticking about the same. I don't know whether we're going to get out in front here. Should we risk it? What's it going to be? It's going to be 9 laps after this, isn't it? So we're going to risk the soft for Raikkonen. Vettel's got some tyre to burn right at the end of the race if he can keep up with Hamilton, or to stay ahead of Rosberg, who has actually come out of the pits behind Ricciardo because the Mercedes double stacked in the pits. So the Mercedes tyres are possibly going to be worn towards the end of the race. It doesn't look like Raikkonen's going to get back out in front of Hamilton here. Hopefully we can have a nice quick pit stop. Obviously we cut some of the track out during the pit, so that should help here. Even though Hamilton's going to get past us on the straight, we should stay in front of him round this bend. Oh no, Hamilton just got out in front there. Oh, that was so close. So we're down to second and third here. Raikkonen is on the soft tyre now. I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with Hamilton here. We're going to have to... They are really burning through the tyre of the Mercedes, so if we just hang on to the back of them here. Just hang on to the back of the Mercedes. They might have to either pit again or be on really worn tyres at the end of the race. Obviously Raikkonen shouldn't hold up Vettel this time because Raikkonen's on a faster tyre, so they should be doing similar lap times. Vettel does a 1:49.886 compared to Hamilton's 1:49.2. Let's just see here. Obviously Raikkonen, as he goes on in this race, he does still have that dodgy neck, which is going to affect him fitness wise, so he possibly will start seeing some degradation in his race pace towards the end here, but he's getting right on the back of Hamilton here, although that little challenge almost let Vettel through. Hopefully Vettel doesn't end up hitting Raikkonen. Obviously you can possibly imagine Vettel over the radio saying, "Get Raikkonen out of the way." obviously we'll be wanting to get past him here, as he's quite a bit quicker than Raikkonen. He's over half a second quicker, it looks like, going by the last lap. So Vettel's probably on the radio saying get Raikkonen out of the way, but alas, we can't order Raikkonen to get out of the way. But Raikkonen's doing a really good job at staying on the back of the Mercedes here. What's the Mercedes tyre looking like? They're already down to 64% at the moment. Maybe we should try to conserve this tyre. Oh, Vettel, because he's pretty low at the moment. We do have some fuel to recover at some point with Raikkonen, so maybe we should start trying to do that now. As Raikkonen just sets his fastest lap of the race as a 1:49.7, actually quicker than Vettel there. So what are we going to be able to do here? Raikkonen's still really on the back here. It looks like Rosberg is having trouble getting past Ricciardo. He's being slowed down a little bit here by the Red Bull. What's everyone else doing? Where have the Toro Rossos gone? 8th for Kvyat, 13th for Sainz, so it's sort of sorted themselves out here. We've got the Force India. We've still got a Renault in the top 10. And we've got Haas in the top 10. I don't think Haas have actually scored a point this season in this game. So it would be good if the Haas can actually finally score a point. Although it looks like Bottas is right on the back of Grosjean here. Well, not right on the back of him, but within touching distance of being able to get past him at some point during this race. So Raikkonen 65%. So we've got about 10% left over the Mercedes, although the Mercedes possibly will be coming away now as we're trying to conserve a little bit of tyre here. As he started pushing again. So we should start pushing as well. Let's try and just keep within touching distance of him. Don't want this gap to get too big. Maybe we should try and get Vettel past Raikkonen. If Vettel wants to try it, he can try it. But then maybe we should try when we get round to the straight. And Vettel looks like he's gonna get past. No, he doesn't. Raikkonen holds the inside line there. Holds Vettel off and stays in second place. And it looks like Hamilton's actually got a problem with his car here as well. Don't know what the problem is. Whether that's going to affect him towards the end of this race. Don't know. What are his tyres like now? 43%, so it looks like the tyres are good enough to get through to the end of the race. We have to run in medium mode with Vettel as well. So he needs to try and recover this little bit of fuel, so we've got a little bit to push with at the end of the race, whereas Raikkonen doesn't have any room to go above medium. And Hamilton's opening up a bit of a gap here. Now 4 seconds is starting to pull away here. He's actually had to turn down his engine and run in conserve mode on the tyres. What are his tyres like now? We've got 3 laps to go. His tyres are going to fall away at some point. Should give Raikkonen and Vettel a chance to get past him. No, Hamilton's actually coming into the pits. He actually needs to fix something on his car, or just because his tyres are so worn here. It's not because of his tyres, it must be the problem with his car. I wonder if his engine's gone. It's going to be whether we can hold Ricciardo off here, because Ricciardo's storming. Yeah, Ricciardo's storming as well, although he's got a pair of fairly worn tyres as well. Possibly going to have to run it in medium with Raikkonen, otherwise these tyres are going to fall away. So what has Hamilton come into the pits for? Something to do with his car, so we're running first and second here at Spa. And Vettel gets past Raikkonen up Kemmel straight. So Raikkonen just couldn't hold on there for his first win of the season. It looks like Vettel's going to start pulling away now. Vettel can go back into high mode. Hopefully Ricciardo doesn't get on the back end of Raikkonen. Did Rosberg pit as well? Where's Rosberg? No, he didn't pit. I just couldn't see him on the screen then. So has Hamilton fixed his car? Yeah, Hamilton must have had a big problem with his engine there for some reason. Raikkonen here, his tyres are almost going to turn into the red here for the last lap. There's going to be no other problems other than that. We can turn his engine back up to high mode in a second. Go low, which means we can then go high. So it looks like we're going to get first and second here. I don't think Ricciardo's going to trouble us coming around to the line, although I say that, I don't think he's going to get any closer to. I don't think he's going to get any closer to Raikkonen here. started dropping away a little bit here as we come towards the line. So Vettel got past Raikkonen. Was it lap 14 he got past Raikkonen? After Raikkonen did expertly around there. The Mercedes had a little bit of trouble there with the engine, I would guess it was, which cost Hamilton the race. So much like a Mercedes this season, the engine looks to have cost Hamilton his win. But it has given us a 1-2 finish again, so with the Mercedes finishing 4th and 5th, we've now opened up. Well, we've opened up an even bigger gap again, which possibly confirms our championship pretty much for this season, unless we have a couple of disasters of the race. Towards the end of the season, hopefully that is not going to happen. Hopefully we're going to hold on. But I still would like Mercedes to come back at us. I would like a couple of races where we struggle and do a 5th and 6th. But I will take 1 and 2. I will take 1 and 2. There's nothing wrong with coming 1st and 2nd. So there we go, Vettel confirmed as winner. Absolutely brilliant. Just a shame Raikkonen couldn't hold on there. Would have been his first win of the season. It's possibly the best chance he has of winning round this Spa track because he gets that +2 boost. But then again, he does have that dodgy neck, which is possibly why he faded away there and Vettel managed to get past him up Kemmel Straight at Spa. So Mercedes were actually pretty strong with their strategy there. If it just wasn't for the reliability problem of their engine, possibly for the same reason we had that engine glitch. Well, not a glitch, that's when the engine fell away of Raikkonen's really suddenly. It does look like something that was added in the last patch where engines can just totally go, they can just totally blow. So we're confirmed top, a lot of points there, 1st and 2nd, another 1st place trophy, so we're back on winning ways again. Raikkonen within 17 points now of 4th place. Vettel now 82 points ahead of Hamilton. So it looks like Vettel could be confirmed champion pretty soon. I don't think he's going to finish outside the top 3 anytime soon, sir. And we're now a huge 65%. I can't even speak at the moment, excuse me. A huge 65 points ahead of Mercedes, 116 to Red Bull, and then Force India Williams bringing up the rear there. Toro Rosso have done well to get 16. McLaren struggling with 8 points. Renault scored 1 point. Did Renault get in the points there? No, they must have done it a little bit earlier in the season. So where did the Haas of Roman Grosjean? It fell away right at the end there. I thought the Haas was actually going to score a point. So Haas and Sauber still without points here. And it looks like Sauber are going to go down because they keep finishing like 19th and 20th. Although they did a little bit better there. Ericsson finished 18th. But I think Nasser keeps finishing 20th. So absolutely brilliant racing there. Everyone's still happy we came first when we were expected to come third. Oh, what's happened to Raikkonen this time? Why has he got minus 200% on everything? Something's happened to Raikkonen. So what has happened to Raikkonen? Got 1.3 going into the bank. So let's just have a look at what has happened to Raikkonen here. Doesn't look like it's anything too major, does it? 4 stars? What happened to him? Why did it say minus 200% for everything? I'm not sure. Obviously nothing's affected him here. I'm not sure at all. Anyway, his dodgy neck won't be gone in time for the American Grand Prix. At least. Scouting, Daniel Kvyat's finished scouting 3.5. 0%. Upset about contract is Kvyat, so he's possibly leaving Toro Rosso at the end of this season. So it'll be interesting to see whether he gets picked up by anyone. Car condition not doing too badly here. Leaked information. Oh dear. That means we've got to fire. Mechanic relationship. We're not going to fire any of the mechanics because there's no one really to replace them with. Everyone's under contract. Right, so we've got 3 offers here. So, are there any of these that are better? A lot of them will be lasting way into next season, but we might as well take one. Take the one with the most upfront payment. Just because we're not ever going to go for this one. There's not much money compared to the other sponsors. So we now have Shandon. Don't have any offers for this one yet, so we're just going to skip ahead until the beginning of the Austin Grand Prix. There's not much to do other than me building some new parts for next year's car. So we'll just skip ahead to that point unless I get any emails before then. Actually, I think we've got a vote coming up. Yeah, we've actually got a vote coming up. We'll just get through that vote first. Although I will be possibly abstaining from it. Looks like we've got a couple of offers anyway. No, just one offer. At the moment we'll wait for those. So what have we got? Pre-distributed tyre compounds. So they decided before the race. That means we don't actually get to choose what tyres we want for the race. This rule will benefit cars that struggle with tyre wear. Obviously that is a factor this season, although next season it won't be a factor for us. So we're just going to abstain here. We're going to let the the racing gods decide what happens here. So it looks like there's going to be quite a few votes for this, so we're not going to be able to choose any of the tyre compounds next season. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have pre-distributed tyre compounds, so we'll possibly get an even slot of each one. So we'll possibly get 4 of each tyre compound, which obviously will possibly affect us because we do like to take a lot of the softer compound. So we do have a lot of that softer compound for practice to get the boost up, and then we have 2 fresh sets for qualifying, and then we have like 3 fresh sets at most for the race, which is the way we like to do it. So next season, pre-distributed tyre compounds are coming in. The next vote is for spec front wings. I don't think that one will get passed. Obviously we don't want that. Our front wing isn't the best, although we do have the second best. The Red Bull really dominating that sector of the car. So yeah, we're going to skip ahead to where the Austin Grand Prix starts, which is where we'll finish the episode. We'll sort out the new sponsors, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, so we're a day before... No, we're actually on the day of Austin Grand Prix. I thought we were the day before there, but we're not. We've got a couple of scouting reports finished. Norman Nato, who is with Racing Engineering in GP2, thought he'd possibly have a little bit better stats than that. 90%, and I must have some... What's happened? A burglary at the moment, which has affected him a little bit. We had a couple of others, so we got 3. So I think we were scouting the Mercedes development drivers. Ocon 3 up to 4 stars. I thought Ocon would have a little bit more potential than that as well. 37%. Marketability. Verline's actually quite a bit better. 3.5 up to 5 stars, and he's got 51% at the moment. Got a few boosts for that. No, he's got a pretty decent marketability rating as Verline, so we could steal Verline from Mercedes, get him out of the manor. Brakes build finish. Now look at that. Look at the state of the brakes there. We would have the best brakes going into next season. If we look at this, we now have an epic brake set 1091, which has the potential to get to 1126. I'm actually going to design the last brake part now. It's going to go in the car. We're going to put the risky parts in since it's not going to go in the car. We can have that, we can have that, we can have this plus 50, which is what we did for the last build. But also because we have Ross Brawn, he does have this stat now, which adds a random legendary component. So we will be getting one of these. So we can either go, possibly, hopefully it's not going to be that one because that's only for a race. We can get this above 1200 hopefully. It will possibly put the plus 50 in. So it might be 1176 we can get it up to. But we're going to build that one, which won't be ready after this race. Sponsor wise, what sponsors have we got? Have we got any 4 stars? We've got Genie, £500,000 a race. KFC, £450,000 a race, but only for 11 races. So maybe we should go for this one because this one lasts a little bit longer. But we should be getting, no, because we get that 2.5 million up front as well. It's an absolutely amazing offer with that 2.5 million up front. But it would take us well into next season. We'll accept it. It's a lot of money. Yeah, so it's quite a bit of money over what we were getting last time. So Genie, I think it's, I don't know if it's pronounced like that, but anyway, it replaces Kaspersky. So yeah, so another excellent episode there. First and second, I can't believe we actually got first and second there. I thought the Mercedes were coming back a lot stronger than they were. Hamilton obviously had a lot of reliability problems, which knocked him down from 1st to 5th. We've got the American Grand Prix coming up next. It's going to be fully sunny for the first time in a while. We're going to have a full dry practice qualifying and race. Obviously, it is possibly another track that really suits Mercedes this year with this really strong half part of the oval course. So the Mercedes should be strong around that part of the track. So that should prove an interesting challenge for us. But anyway, if you want to see that update and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment on what you think the driver situation is, whether you think we're doing really well or not. But until next time, I will see you down the road in Austin for the American Grand Prix, and goodbye. Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. It's everyone else pushing at the moment. It's the Rosberg. Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously, the Mercedes should be really strong up here. Although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost of the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here. As Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there, so absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get... We don't realise they even think about turning them down. We can possibly run in push and high mode and get them through to where we need to about lap 7 is where we need these tyres to get through. If we ran them in medium, we could possibly get 10 to 11 laps out of them. We just have to be careful. A lot of cars locking up there around the top of the hill. So we just have to be careful that these Mercedes, they're still running in rich engine mode at the moment, still with a rich fuel mix. Mercedes really do like to burn through a lot of their fuel at the beginning of the race. It does seem to affect them later on when they have to go into low mode, and looks like Vettel's about to lose a place to Rosberg here. Although he should be able to hold it, but can we hold that up the straight? Can we hold it up the straight? Rosberg trying to shoot down the outside into this S-bend here. Vettel hanging on, but he locks up trying to keep that place from Rosberg, but then shoots away from Rosberg there. Brilliant. So there's a massive gap now to the Red Bulls behind. The Red Bulls struggling around this track. Already 9 seconds behind the leader Raikkonen. A lot of lockups around this track. And the ring starts again a little bit here before dropping off. Doesn't look like it's going to start again towards the end of the race. So hopefully we can stick a medium on this car when we come into the pits next. Get back to Raikkonen here. I don't think Raikkonen's holding Vettel. Could be holding him up about half a second a lap. Obviously we can't order Raikkonen to let Vettel through. We're just going to let Raikkonen race here at Spa. Up the hill for Raikkonen, up to this S-bend at the top of the hill. So we've got Raikkonen going out now, and we've got Vettel just about to start coming round. So hopefully we can get Vettel around just before the rain starts here. So let's just try and get these tyres up to temperature. What I don't like to do in this little mini game, I'm not too bothered about the brakes. What we try and do is get the tyres up to temperature, and then we switch between green and yellow like this. That way it doesn't wear away too much of the tyre during this little mini game. We don't want this to drop below like 90%. We don't want the tyre to drop below 90%. Brake temperature doesn't seem to mean too much like that. We've managed to keep the tyre above 90% there. And that sort of gets you a better lap. See there, Raikkonen went. It's not that quick though, Raikkonen. Hopefully Vettel's going to be quick as well. It doesn't look like the Mercedes and the Red Bulls are going to get out of the pits before the rain starts again. Well, they're definitely not going to be able to start a flying lap before the rain begins again. I'm not even sure Vettel's going to get around before the rain begins again. Although he might just make it. He's going a little bit quicker than Raikkonen here in the first sector. At 2 tenths, does he keep that up? He's 5 tenths quicker than Raikkonen there over the first 2 sectors. So it looks like Vettel's going to get pole here. The Mercedes are just about coming round now. So Vettel will go first. Vettel does it in a 1:43.463, so it's just over, yeah, it's just over half a second quicker there. So let's just have a look at Rosberg, and the Red Bull's even further back than that. So it's started raining now, so that's really going to affect the Mercedes lap here and the Red Bull. So we should keep 1 and 2 here due to mistakes by Mercedes and Red Bull. So they should be a lot slower as we get Rosberg going up our rouge here. We get that nice little bit of a hill there, and then up Camel Straight. So let's just see, yeah, Rosberg's really down on time there, so that's really affected them there. They've really made a mistake by coming right out at the end of the session. The rain has hit them, has affected them. Rosberg's 3 seconds down there, so what is Hamilton's 6, so we've got a Toro Rosso and a Force India that look like they're going to be starting ahead of Hamilton here. Where's Hamilton? Hamilton 3.6 seconds down. Ricciardo is 3.5 seconds down. Verstappen is 1.5 at the moment, but he's not through the second sector yet. 4 seconds down. So pretty disappointing there for Mercedes. Where's Hamilton going to come across the line? What does he do? 5 seconds slower. So if we look at the last lap there for Rosberg, a 148, a 148. Yeah, all the 148s here. Did Verstappen do 6 seconds slower? So Verstappen does a 149. So just Rosberg there. There's a nice little gap here to Hamilton where he could be slowed down off the line by Kvyat in the Toro Rosso and Sainz in the Toro Rosso. I said Sainz won on the 3rd row of the grid here, so that's just going to possibly help us out in staying ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Yes, we've got both Toro Rossos, followed by Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault. So has it messed a couple of the other cars up as well? It really messed Massa up in the Williams and Bottas up in the Williams, so they must have come out late as well. Yeah, they're on the Inters. Perez is pretty low down as well, as is Hulkenberg. So the top of the order around here is a little bit messed up. We've got a Haas and Renault a lot higher than they have been in this game. It's an opportunity for them to score some points here, and it actually looks like it's going to be full wet at some point here. No, it's just about intermediate level on that second lap in, isn't it? So should we go for the intermediate boost here, or is it going to stop? It's going to get sunny, isn't it? So we might as well go with a super soft boost here. It looks like the super soft's going to run for a lot longer, although after lap 4 we could possibly put a medium tyre on and get to the end of the race once the rain has stopped. So we'll go with the intermediate boost here, because we might go, we're going to try go for the mediums after the inters have run out. They can go for 10 laps and mediums can go for a massive 12 laps here, so we could possibly finish this race just doing one stint on the inters and then one stop and then finishing the race off on the medium. So that is going to be the plan here. That is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to come off the line because it's a really short run down to the first corner here. So if we need a decent start to be able to hold on to first and second after that first bend, and hopefully we've got enough of a distance over the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is going to be really strong here. Up Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. It's everyone else pushing at the moment. Yes, they are. Rosberg, Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously the Mercedes should be really strong up here, although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than the Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost of the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here. If Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there, so absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get, we don't realise they even think about turning them down. We can possibly run in push and high mode and get them through to where hopefully we can get that sort of result here. It's going to be wet for the start of qualifying. It looks like it's going to get dry somewhere towards the end. So we'll see what we can get out of this. Obviously, we're going to take the super soft boost for here, because it is going to get dry, it looks like. Hopefully it gets dry. I'm going to take the super soft boost. As for setup, we're a little bit off there with Kimi, aren't we? What can we try and straighten up here? We need to go a little bit further this way on the downforce. So let's try it that way a little bit, and then we just need to try and straighten these up a little bit, don't we? I think that's going to get us somewhere near, should hopefully be higher than 95%. We're going to have to start off on the intermediates, whereas Vettel 96% is the best we got. Won't mess with that too much, we'll leave it as that. We don't need it any more advantages than what we've got at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll come back, possibly skip the first qualifying lap, because it's going to be done on wet. It's going to be nowhere near the speed of the lap towards the end of the session. So we'll skip the first lap and we'll come back when we're about to set a flying lap whilst the track is dry. Right, so Raikkonen is pretty far down the order here, but some of these I might should do a lap on the dry now. He was pretty low down, but that's because he came out on his first lap on the intermediates was on a track that was possibly at its wettest at the point, just a couple of bars in. There's a little bit more rain expected now, right at the end of the session. So we've got Raikkonen going out now, and we've got Vettel just about to start coming round. So hopefully we can get Vettel around just before the rain starts here. So let's just try and get these tyres up to temperature. What I don't like to do in this little mini game, I'm not too bothered about the brakes. What we try and do is get the tyres up to temperature, and then we switch between green and yellow like this. That way it doesn't wear away too much of the tyre during this little mini game. We don't want this to drop below like 90%. We don't want the tyre to drop below 90%. Brake temperature doesn't seem to mean too much like that. We've managed to keep the tyre above 90% there, and that sort of gets you a better lap. See there, Raikkonen went. It's not that quick though, Raikkonen. Hopefully Vettel's going to be quick as well. It doesn't look like the Mercedes and the Red Bulls are going to get out of the pits before the rain starts again. Well, they're definitely not going to be able to start a flying lap before the rain begins again. I'm not even sure Vettel's going to get around before the rain begins again. Although he might just make it. He's going a little bit quicker than Raikkonen here in the first sector. At 2 tenths, does he keep that up? He's 5 tenths quicker than Raikkonen there over the first 2 sectors. So it looks like Vettel's going to get pole here. The Mercedes are just about coming round now. So Vettel will go first. Vettel does it in a 143.463. So it's just over, yeah, it's just over half a second after the inters have run out. They can go for 10 laps, and mediums can go for a massive 12 laps here. So we could possibly finish this race just doing one stint on the inters, and then one stop, and then finishing the race off on the medium. So that is going to be the plan here. That is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to come off the line because it's a really short run down to the first corner here. So if we need a decent start to be able to hold on to first and second after that first bend, and hopefully we've got enough of a distance over the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is going to be really strong here up Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. Is everyone else pushing at the moment? Yes, they are. Rosberg, Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously the Mercedes should be really strong up here. Although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than the Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost in the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally, and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here. As Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there, so absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get, we don't realise they even think about turning them down. We can possibly run in push and high mode and get them through to where we need to about lap 7 is where we need these tyres to get through. If we ran them in medium, we could possibly get 10 to 11 laps out of them. We just have to be careful. A lot of cars locking up there around the top of the hill. So we just have to be careful that these Mercedes, they're still running in rich engine mode at the moment, still with a rich fuel mix. Mercedes really do like to burn through a lot of their fuel at the beginning of the race. It does seem to affect them later on when they have to go into low mode, and looks like Vettel's about to lose a place to Rosberg here. Although he should be able to hold it, but can we hold that up the straight? Can we hold it up the straight? Rosberg trying to shoot down the outside into this S-bend here. Vettel hanging on, but he locks up trying to keep that place from Rosberg, but then shoots away from Rosberg there. Brilliant. So there's a massive gap now to the Red Bulls behind. The Red Bulls struggling around this track. Already 9 seconds behind the leader Raikkonen. A lot of lockups around this track. Points here, and it actually looks like it's going to be full wet at some point here. No, it's just about intermediate level on that second lap in, isn't it? So should we go for the intermediate boost here, or is it going to stop? It's going to get sunny, isn't it? So we might as well go with a super soft boost here. It looks like the super soft's going to run for a lot longer Although, after lap 4 we could possibly put a medium tyre on and get to the end of the race once the rain has stopped. So we'll go with the intermediate boost here, because we might go... We're going to try go for the mediums after the inters have run out. They can go for 10 laps and mediums can go for a massive 12 laps here. So we could possibly finish this race just doing one stint on the inters and then one stop and then finishing the race off on the medium. So that is going to be the plan here. That is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to come off the line because it's a really short run down to the first corner here. So if we need a decent start to be able to hold on to first and second after that first bend, and hopefully we've got enough of a distance over the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is going to be really strong here up Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. It's everyone else pushing at the moment. It's the Rosberg. Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously the Mercedes should be really strong up here, although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than the Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost of the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here. If Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there, so absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get... We don't realise they even think about turning them down. We can possibly run in push and high mode and get them through to where we need to about lap 7 is where we need these tyres to get through. If we ran them in medium, we could possibly get 10 to 11 laps out of them. We just have to be careful. A lot of cars locking up there around the top of the hill. So we just have to be careful that these Mercedes are still running in rich engine mode at the moment, still with a rich fuel mix. Mercedes really do like to burn through a lot of their fuel at the beginning, further ahead there, but Hamilton's actually got past Rosberg at some point. Hamilton did his last lap in a 154.1, so Rosberg did it in a 156.3, so something really slowed Rosberg up on the last lap. Hamilton is actually lapping quicker than Vettel, but they keep turning the fuel up. Yeah, have we still got enough? Yeah, there's tons of tyre left here to get through to until we need to come into the pits. Obviously we're going to have one of these cars pit a lot earlier. Obviously with Vettel leading, with Raikkonen leading, we're going to have to pick Vettel first. I think we'll give Raikkonen as much time as he needs on this intermediates, whereas Vettel's possibly going to come in a lap earlier than he should do. Unless Vettel can get past, of course. And Raikkonen's locked up now. So hopefully we can keep these two places through the pits. Although Hamilton's really getting at the back of Vettel here, as Vettel's starting to get slowed up by Raikkonen. Right, so we're going to keep Raikkonen out when the rain stops. Hopefully he can slow Hamilton down a little bit, which should allow Vettel to get through. Vettel's right on the back now, so Vettel is possibly coming in this lap. Should we try getting pushed like this and getting past Hamilton? And he keeps locking up, doesn't he? Yeah, so he's going to have to go in first. Is it going to be this lap that we're bringing him in? Should we? It's going to have to be, otherwise it's going to be on the back of Raikkonen here. So we're going to pick Vettel this lap. Raikkonen is going to have to stay out for one more lap. We've got 11 laps remaining. We can finish this race on the medium tyre. That's definitely what we're going to go for. Should we go risky? Should we go balanced? Go balanced. We've tried the risky one with Raikkonen after this lap. So he's going to really have to push now. We're going to have to really push him because the Mercedes are going to come out on a dry tyre. And the track doesn't quite suit a dry tyre at the moment. Where's Vettel going to get out? He's still behind Hamilton, although it's going to have slowed. They're coming out on a soft. of the Mercedes, so they're going to have to pit again before the end of the race. They know it's going to rain for those last couple of laps. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, although it starts getting cloudy towards the end of the rain, so there is a chance of rain. We need to try and conserve these a little bit. We don't want to wear them away because we need these to get through to the end of the race here. Whereas Raikkonen now can queue up his pit stop. Soft 10 laps for that. Raikkonen could possibly just do it on the softs, although he has been known to really get through his tyres. It was a lap too early for Vettel. So the Mercedes Toro Rosso, I said Sainz was in a Force India a minute ago. So they've got both Toro Rossos, one on the second row of the grid and one on the third row of the grid here. So that's just going to possibly help us out in staying ahead of Lewis Hamilton here. Yes, we've got both Toro Rossos, followed by Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault. So has it messed a couple of the other cars up as well? It really messed Massa up in the Williams and Bottas up in the Williams. So they must have come out late as well. Yeah, they're on the Inters. Perez is pretty low down as well, as is Hulkenberg. So the top of the order around here is a little bit messed up. We've got a Haas and Renault a lot higher than they have been in this game. It's an opportunity for them to score some points here, and it actually looks like it's going to be full wet at some point here. No, it's just about intermediate level on that second lap in, isn't it? So should we go for the intermediate boost here, or is it going to stop? It's going to get sunny, isn't it? So we might as well go with a super soft boost here. It looks like the super soft's going to run for a lot longer, although after lap 4 we could possibly put a medium tyre on and get to the end of the race once the rain has stopped. So we'll go with the intermediate boost here, because we're going to try go for the mediums after the inters have run out. They can go for 10 laps and mediums can go for a massive 12 laps here, so we could possibly finish this race just doing one stint on the inters and then one stop and then finishing the race off on the medium. So that is going to be the plan here. That is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to come off the line because it's a really short run down to the first corner here. So if we need a decent start to be able to hold on to first and second after that first bend, and hopefully we've got enough of a distance over the Mercedes, because the Mercedes is going to be really strong here up Eau Rouge and up the Kemmel Straight. Raikkonen gets off the line, brilliant there, flies ahead of Vettel. Obviously Raikkonen's +2 boost coming in there. Is everyone else pushing at the moment? Yes, they are. Rosberg, Hamilton's still held up here by one of the Toro Rossos, although Sainz had a nightmare of a start. He's all the way back down in 10th. He started in 5th there. So Hamilton is up into 5th at the moment, and it looks like he's about to get past the Toro Rosso as well. Obviously the Mercedes should be really strong up here, although around this part of the track is where we should be a little bit better than the Mercedes this season. Obviously next season we've got that massive boost in the engine, so the Mercedes possibly won't be able to match us for power, or we will match them pretty equally and we won't have to worry about the straights anymore. So this is possibly one of the races where if Raikkonen's in front of Vettel, he won't be holding him up here. If Raikkonen does a 150 to Vettel's 152 there, so absolutely brilliant first lap from Raikkonen there. And we're going to have to start thinking about turning these tyres down, because we need to get, we don't realise they